All right, our focus is on the situation in Northeast as the protests continue unabated over the Citizenship Amendment Bill. India Today is getting you live reports from Ground Zero from across the length and breadth of Northeast. Kamaljeet Sandhu will be joining us from Agartala. Indrajit is getting us all the live updates from Kolkata. And we have East Mojo's Vangamla Saleh joining us from Imphal and Israela, who is live from Aizwal as well. Let's go first straight across to Kamaljeet Sandhu, who's joining us from Agartala right there. Kamaljeet, what is the situation on ground as well? The protesters have been given several assurances that they will get a meeting with Home Minister Amit Shah as well. What is the latest that you're picking up on ground?
There's an uneasy calm which prevails in the town of Agartala, the capital of Tripura. Behind me are remnants of what really happened on this particular ground itself just a few hours ago. And there is a paramilitary as well as the Tripura police which is on the ground. There you see it. And there is obviously a palpable tension. So Congress workers out here on one side of the road, they're the ones who've been heckling some of those people. There's politics between the Youth Congress as well as the BJP, but the real opponents are the tribals. Now, some of the protesting leaders met the Chief Minister yesterday and there was a truce between them, saying there would a meeting be arranged with the Home Minister Amit Shah. But very clearly, these leaders have not much of a control on their people. So some of them are headless protests which have been taking place, key arterial roads blocked. But what is important is that there's not been mass violence. What has been on ground is widespread protest. So a lot of onlookers out here, because once in a while what happens is there is a slight stone pelting, then there is an action. 25 protesters have been taken into preventive custody as of now. But clearly situation could go out of hand. There's been an appeal being made by the Prime Minister, by the Chief Minister themselves. But again, it's a situation and this involves sensitivity as well as emotions of people. They are against the Bengali Hindus who they believe are actually from Bangladesh, and they say whether it's the Hindus or the Muslims, none of them should be given citizenship. So this is a very contentious issue. Some of these areas are dominated by the Bengali Hindus. But again, since this is a topic where they're saying there should be exemption as far as the CAB is concerned, not just for the Autonomous District Council, the ADC, but also for the entire Tripura. Will this be conceded to? That seems anybody's guess. But as of now, it's the ground situation, and how NRC and later the CAB will be done is going to be another test for the government. But as of now, it's just ground situation, law and order, which seems to be the priority for the state government.
All right, hold on right there. There we've got Kamaljeet bringing us all the latest ground reports right there. In fact, we've got Ashutosh as well, who's getting us a ground report from Guwahati, where there's a curfew with military forces that have been deployed as well. Let's take a look at what's going on in Guwahati.
The security forces have started carrying out flag march on the streets of Guwahati to maintain and prevail the law and order situation. Remember, after the passing of the bill, Citizenship Amendment Act 2019, the violence escalated across the state of Assam, particularly in the capital city of Guwahati. These are the images where the protesters have set ablaze the wooden tires and everything to block the road and communication. Remember, the curfew has been imposed. There is also section 144 and the mobile internet has been restricted. And here, the CRPF and the Guwahati police carrying out flag march across the streets of Guwahati. Tear shells are being fired. Look at the other side, how the protesters have gathered, and here the tear shells are being fired on the protesters to disperse the crowd as there's a curfew imposed. The administration trying to maintain the law and order and contain any possibility of the violence. Here the tear shells are being fired on the protesters in every small pockets. Remember, main town and particularly these small pockets have become vulnerable, where the protesters have started coming out early since morning, and as the time passes later in the day, the protest is escalating further. So all across, that's a challenge for the administration to deal with these protesters. And if you see these images, how the roads have been blocked, the biggest challenge for the administration is to curb the crowd. They're trying to clear the road, evacuate, so that possibility. So the communications that continues, the transport continues. There's a curfew, let me tell you, the curfew that continue to be imposed in Guwahati, at the capital city. There have been aggressive violence by the protesters. And here, look at the protesters have once again gathered here There have been clashes reported with the police and the forces. Now the CRP and Guwahati police is trying to clear the state highway and particularly the important main roads. That are the biggest challenges. The TSL's Advanced Patrolling Party, and that's the flag march being carried out on the streets of Guwahati. In Guwahati, Assam with Ravikant, this is Ashutosh Mishra for India Today.
And now it's massive protests across the state of Assam over the passage of Citizenship Amendment Bill. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has now assured the people of the state, saying that no one will take away their rights, their unique identity and beautiful culture. The Prime Minister in his tweet gave an assurance and further added that the centre will be protecting the spirit of Assam. Taking a jibe at the Prime Minister Modi's assurance, the Congress party posted a counter tweet saying that Assamese people cannot read Prime Minister's reassurance message as internet services have been cut off in the state.
धीरे धीरे कांग्रेस पार्टी इस वातावरण का फायदा लेकर के अपना मुकद्दर, अपना फॉर्च्यून रिवाइव करने का प्रयास कर रही है, क्योंकि उनका जनाधार खो चुका है। लेकिन हमें विश्वास है वो सफल नहीं होने वाले। गृह मंत्री जी ने बार बार ये कहा है, सदन के अंदर भी सदन के बाहर भी, कि आखिरकार ये बिल समाज के हर वर्ग के हित में रहेगा, विन विन।
कांग्रेस के लोग ही ज़्यादा इसमें इन्वॉल्व हो गए हैं, क्योंकि उनका पूरा नॉर्थ ईस्ट में सफाया होगा। वो चाहता है कि ये केप के द्वारा कुछ हम संगठन अपना शक्तिशाली कर सकते हैं क्या, इस तरह से कांग्रेस के लोग इसमें जुड़े हुए हैं।
ये बड़ी सीरियस बात है भाई, गंभीर समस्या है कि बहुत लोग इससे असंतुष्ट है। बहुत लोग को, मुझे असम से कितने लोगों के मैसेज मिल रहे हैं जो स्टूडेंट्स है, वहाँ उनको इंटरनेट नहीं है, उनकी परीक्षा भी सब खत्म हो गए, मतलब जो होना था अभी होगा नहीं, रास्ते में दिक्कत है, टेंशन है सारे समुदाय के अंदर। पता नहीं ये सरकार जो मर्जी उनके मन में आते हैं करते हैं, और देश की हालत मेरे ख्याल में हर रोज अभी बहुत बुरा हो रहा है। असम में अब देखा, अभी सारे रास्ते में जवान खड़े हैं बंदूक के साथ।
And the northeast state of Tripura is tense, but it is peaceful. There have been stray incidents of protests that are being reported amidst heightened security as well. 3 columns of paramilitary Assam Rifles and 15 companies of CRPF have been deployed to maintain calm there. The schools have remained open, but the attendance of students has been bleak. Passengers stranded in Agartala as well as trains to Tripura have been cancelled as well. In a major reprieve, the joint movement against Citizenship Amendment Bill called off its strike. The decision to call off the agitation came after tribal delegations ended up meeting Chief Minister Biplab Deb, Anthony Debarama, the convener of the joint movement against Citizenship Amendment Bill, that said that the strike has been withdrawn after Chief Minister's assurance that they will be getting a hearing with the Home Minister Amit Shah as well. Getting a quick reaction right there, listening to what Tripura Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Dev has to say on the prevailing situation in the state.
आपको लग रहा है कि कम्युनल क्लैश होने के डर हैं, कम्युनिटीज के बीच में इस तरह का तनाव हो सकता है?
देखिए, मैं त्रिपुरा को बहुत अच्छी तरह जानता हूँ, मैं बहुत प्यार करता हूँ। इस भूमि में कोई गलत काम हो ही नहीं सकता। किसी ने कोशिश किया, मैंने देखा बहुत लंबे टाइम में भी कुछ विचारधारा सोच इसको बदल देगा, नहीं कर पाया। ये महाराजा वीर विक्रम कृष्ण मानकीय का भूमि है, आप इसका हिस्ट्री उठा दिए, सबसे पुराना डायनेस्टी यही किया है। ये सिस्टम, ये विचारधारा, ये सोच हमने नहीं बनाया। मैं तो उस पथ से चल रहा हूँ, महाराजा वीर विक्रम कृष्ण मानकीय का रास्ता देखे, उस रास्ते में चल रहा हूँ। और मेरा पूर्ण विश्वास है मेरे त्रिपुरा के हर जनता मेरी सरकार के साथ है।
Okay, we're getting you the ground report from across the length and breadth of Northeast, where there are stray incidents of protest still being reported at the moment. Let's get a sense of what is really happening on ground at the moment. Vangamala Saleh is reporting from Imphal, joining us live. Kamaljeet Sandhu, of course, from Agartala. Indrajit Kundu is joining us live from Kolkata as well. Let's go to Vangamala for the moment, who's reporting from Imphal. What is the ground reality, Vangamala, as far as Imphal is concerned? Are there stray incidents still being reported on ground?
Well, unlike the other northeastern states of Assam and Tripura, where there are lots of protests happening, in Imphal there is a peace and calm. Since the time Union Minister, Home Minister Amit Shah had announced on Monday that Manipur would be included on Inner Line Public. There has been a series of rallies, public gatherings, as well as candlelight, just to show the appreciations and the happiness for the inclusion of Inner Line Public system in Manipur itself. So there is no such protest against this Inner Line Public, but people are happy right now because people feel that with this Inner Line Public permit implementation in our state, people feel that our indigenous population will be protected and it will be out of the purview of GAP.
All right, hold on right there, Mangamala. We are going to get all the other reports coming in from Agartala and Kolkata as well. Let's go to Indrajit now, who's joining us from Kolkata. Indrajit, what is the ground report as it stands as far as Kolkata is concerned? Because northeast continues to be on the edge. All right, we'll go to Indrajit in just about a bit, but Mangamala reporting from Imphal is joining us. Mangamala, so peaceful situation in Manipur, I beg your pardon, after the Home Minister's assurances have come in?
That's right. There is no such protest where people, all the apprehensions before the Lok Sabha, before the monthly session was happened, all the apprehensions of the public has been cleared because now people are happy that the state has been included in the Inner Lines permit. So people are, the indigenous, especially the indigenous population of both hills and valley, are happy that they are now protected under the system.
And no uneasy calm being reported, no incidents of protests or violence or any kind of arson being reported on ground, Mangamala?
That's right. There is no such protest happening here.
All right, let's also go across to my colleague Indrajit Kundu joining us from Kolkata. Indrajit, what is the situation on ground right there in Kolkata at the moment as we speak?
Well, Chaiti, a lot of it is being done keeping in mind the 2021 West Bengal Assembly elections in mind. However, interestingly, even though a large part of Northeast is in flares right now, Assam, of course, fierce protest, even in Tripura, West Bengal has remained quite peaceful and calm. Because there is a lot of Bangladeshi Hindu refugees who have come in during various phases over the past several decades into West Bengal. I of course interacted with a few of them in North 24 Pargana district, and they were telling me how happy they were. There was a lot of apprehension, but now they're happy now that the bill has been passed. Even then, we haven't seen much of a jubilation, people coming out on the street and expecting, because remember, there has been a normalization process of the refugees over several phases now. There has been, refugees coming in from Bangladesh in various phases, and they have procured several documents, identity documents over the years. So the targeting of the Matua community, which has been an important vote bank in West Bengal, mostly in North 24 Pargana district and adjoining areas of Bangladesh, they were the ones who are actually, demanding citizenship. And now that this has come, they did come out and express their happiness, but we haven't seen much of a jubilant sign except for some BJP workers in various parts of Kolkata and West Bengal coming out last night and celebrating. So things continue to remain under control, but of course, the political dispensation here, the Trinamool Congress, has been a fierce and vocal critique of the CAB, and we've seen how Trinamool Congress members registered their protest on the floor of the House in the upper house in Rajya Sabha last night.
Continue to stay with us right there. Kamaljeet is getting us all those reactions coming in from Agartala as well, getting us all the ground reports coming in there. Kamaljeet, you were saying that there is no violence, there is an uneasy calm that still prevails in Agartala, and several protesters also, from what we're understanding, have been held up. If you could clarify that as well for us. Kamaljeet, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. As a matter of fact, things seem quite tense though largely peaceful. This is also because there are boots on the ground, and let me just try and show you the number of personnel are only increasing by the hour. So this is one of the main chowks out here. It's called the post office Chow Mahani, and obviously the tank here representing this main town. But again, what we've seen is these are the remnants, as I showed to you earlier, where there were tires which were burnt. There is obviously a palpable tension. But again, we'll give credit to security forces as well as the police. They've been on ground. The senior officers have been there just to ensure that the situation doesn't go out of hand. So yes, a lot of restraint being shown also. Though they're all prepared, they have lathis, they have riot gear, they also have tear gas, but thankfully none of them have to be utilized. Now there have been a lot of rumor mongering which has been done, reports of violence being given on WhatsApp, and that is why there's a clampdown on the internet. It's been slowed down in several areas. The WhatsApp is not really available for local people. But again, situation remains quite unpredictable. If there is BJP on one hand, there is the Congress on the other hand, there could be violence just between the workers of these two parties. And as far as the tribals are concerned, they may be quiet as of now, but again, they are the ones who are the key demand holders. They are the ones who have been protesting against the Bangladeshis, whether be it Hindus or Muslims. So a very contentious issue, and the heart of it is Agartala. It's largely been a very quiet town. The sort of protests which have been happening have surprised many of the residents here. But this is a demand which has been simmering for quite a number of years. So they're very vocal about it. Pradyot has obviously gone to Delhi. He's the one who will be petitioning against the CAB. But on the ground, it is the Chief Minister who's been assuaging fears by meeting political leaders as well as student leaders. Will it really have results? That needs to be seen. But again, it's not just now. It's still the implementation of NRC and the CAB. Things are going to be very hot as far as law and order are concerned. And that is the long-term impact of implementation of CAB right here.
Okay, hold on right there, ma'am. I'd like to bring in Vangamala as well, who's getting us the ground reports. Vangamala, there were concerns that Manipur could be the most impacted after the implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Bill, but you did see Home Minister Amit Shah announce in Lok Sabha that Manipur will be brought under the inner line permit. If you could walk our viewers and explain and break this down for us as to how the ILP now will, because it will be brought under the ILP, their situation will be fine as far as Manipur is concerned.
Yes, before the Lok Sabha session happened on Monday, there were a lot of huge protests and rallies were happened because people were scared that if the CAB is implemented in the state, then they are not protected and the indigenous population will not be protected from the law itself. But since the Union Home Minister Amit Shah has already announced on Monday that Manipur will be included on ILP, now people are happy because Manipur being one of the border state with the Myanmar country, there are lots of influx illegal immigrants in our state. So now with this ILP, the outsiders from whoever wanted to come to our state without their permission, without the permission of the law, they wouldn't be able to come to the state freely. So people are happy with this ILP system that they are protected. The indigenous people are happy about it. And in fact, on 10th of this month itself, right soon after the Union Minister announced about the ILP, the state has announced a state holiday just to show the happiness to the central leaders.
Right. Let me also bring in Kamaljeet Sandhu. Kamaljeet, what are you picking up as far as the Home Ministry is concerned as well amidst these ongoing stray incidents of protests that are being reported all across Northeast, not just Agartala from where you're reporting as well? Is the Home Minister likely to meet different stakeholders to kind of have a word with them and give them the kind of assurance that they require? Because the Prime Minister also has put out a tweet assuring all the Northeast inhabitants saying that, look, your rights will be protected, your culture is also something that we will be protecting, and you all are not going to get impacted as much.
Well, the Home Ministry... Well, the Home Ministry had already sensed it that there would be trouble, especially in the northeastern areas. And that is why just before the bill was tabled in Lok Sabha, remember, he had extensive meetings with the Chief Minister of the northeastern states. Now, obviously, after that, a decision was taken to include Manipur in the inner line permit area. There are certain assuages which were given, assurances which were given to the state leaders. But it's again going to be extremely difficult, especially for leaders like Sarbanand Sonowal, who is the Chief Minister of Assam. We've seen already there were ransacking and vandalism done in Dibrugarh at his residence. Again, the BJP MLA from there, Rameshwar Teli, we've been told his house was also attacked by a mob. There was firing which was done. Again, states like Tripura, the place where I'm starting right now, there are tribals, at least 19 of them, who've been opposed to the idea of citizenship. They don't want just the autonomous district council, the ADC, to be included in the area. They want the entire area of Tripura to be exempted from CAB because they say, whatever said and done, several illegal migrants over the years have come and settled. They actually overwhelm this particular state because the tribals are now down to 30%, while the Bengali Hindus, who they believe have come from Bangladesh, are the ones who control 70 to 80% of the area, and this is where they are dominating. So people saying the resources, the jobs, the idea of the Tripura, which actually should belong to the tribals, who are the original people from here, is being lost somewhere because of CAB. So vehement protest here, whether it is about the Bangladeshi Hindus or Muslims, and we've seen right on the ground itself, whether it is the auto wala, the rickshaw wala, whether it is the bus driver, all of them, the lower people who actually find it very difficult to earn their livelihood are the ones who are under attack. Nobody we've seen going in cars or going in motorbikes being heckled or thrown stone at. But clearly, this is not just a class war. This is something which is much more than a sentimental issue. We've seen people coming out on roads and crying, howling. But today there has been a relief, at least for Tripura police. Because remember, some of the tribal leaders backed off as far as the strike is concerned. So things could actually head towards normalcy if things go well. And yes, if there is an assurance coming in, but not much is likely to be changed as far as the CAB is concerned. Because remember, if there were changes which were to be made, then it would have been done in the parliament itself.
Okay.
That is where the chief minister, who's at the center of controversy, is also drawing ire from the tribals who are saying he's not doing enough.
All right. I thank you very much, Kamaljeet, Indrajit and Mangmala as well for bringing us those ground reports, all the situation as it stands in those respective states, northeastern states.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.